Hello, everybody. We'll try it again now that you're paying attention. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Children's. There we are. And we're thrilled that we have our mayor here today, Mayor Muriel Bowser, Deputy Mayor Jenny Niles here, two of our council members, Councilmember Grosso, Councilmember Allen, and thank you for being here, and leaders from the DC Public Libraries, the United States Post Office, from Unity Healthcare, and I saw Vince Keene, the CEO there, the DC Promise Neighborhood Initiative, the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, Educare of Washington, and then the District of Columbia American Academy of Pediatrics. So we're thrilled. I mean, there's so many important people here that I could keep on going and going. But we're pleased here at Children's National to host the launch of Books from Birth. And I can't say enough about Councilmember Allen and this great idea that he and his team and the council and the mayor have brought to Washington, D.C. and our kids. We're thrilled to host this launch because this literary initiative will provide, and get this, a free book each month to every child under age 5 in the district. I mean, that is just such an auspicious and ambitious goal, and I just think we're all going to be better for that. The goal is to get more parents to read to their kids and get the children ready to start school. And, you know, Children's, and I was talking to Charles about this, and he reminded me that one of the most frequent and something he could count on is that every child will see their pediatrician before the age of 3. And it's so important to have our pediatricians. And I'm thrilled that the American Academy of Pediatrics is here because that's been a focus of there. And Lamia, who's one of our graduates and is now the head of that, I thank you. I got to get that plug in there. So, you know, we as adults need to support this, and this is just not a dream. This is research-based. It's evidence-based. There's data behind it. It's proven that when parents and other caregivers engage with the baby through conversations and positive interactions, that it has a positive effect. And we have Mr. Conyers, Jeff Conyers here from the Dollywood Foundation, who has created that program and in other places, and they've seen that effect. I don't know if you knew this, but 86 to 98%, depending on the study, of the words used by a child by the age of 3 come from their parents. So it's so critical to get the parents reading to the kids, and this program will do that. This will provide those free books. Again, we are very excited at Children's National to be part of this in this important event. I welcome you all to come back again anytime, not with a sick kid, but just to enjoy yourself here. But if you have a sick child, we're here to take care of that child and that family, whether it's here on this campus or at our clinics in Ward 8 or all around the city, United Medical Center, because we want to make sure we have the healthiest kids in the nation. I want to again give a special thanks to Councilmember Allen for making this program a reality in the district, and Mayor Bowser for her administration's implementation of this important program. So now I have the honor of introducing our mayor. I don't know if this is a word. Maybe my mother should have read to me a little bit more, but she is the awesomest mayor in our country, if not the world. We're so lucky to have a leader with the vision, the energy, the passion and commitment to lead our great city. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's always a pleasure for me to be here at Children's. I had the pleasure also of being with Dr. Newman to talk about Children's and what Children's does in China. So its reputation is worldwide as a center where families and children get well, and where people who take care of children learn and are trained. And we're just so proud to have them right here in our nation's capital. Give Dr. Newman and his team a big round of applause. And to all the community members who are here, who've joined us from Ward 5 and all parts of the city, let me acknowledge the commissioners quickly: Walter DeLeon, Kathy Henderson, Diane Barnes, and Laura Jackson. Give them a big round of applause. And I know Faith Hubbard, who is here, who's also here in the DCPL board, our wonderful DC Public Libraries, and our awesomest council members. Now, I make up words too, and I especially like the word awesomeness. That just brings me to acknowledging the great work of Councilmember Charles Allen. I call him the new old council member. Charles had an idea, he introduced it, got it funded, and got it implemented within a year and 11 months of being in office. And that's awesome. Good job. He was able to do so because he had the support of the Committee on Education, Deputy Mayor Niles, and he will have the support of the library and this administration in making sure that this program is implemented so that the most families in DC can take advantage of it. It is apropos that we are helping to launch this program here at Children's during the Bowser administration, what we like to call Education Week. We started the week talking about how we would advance improvements for our boys and attracting families to a school focused on how boys learn that will open this fall. And we think that's very good news. Yesterday, we talked about how children need more instruction time and how in the District of Columbia, we will have the ability to do exactly that at 10 elementary and middle schools across DC, giving not just 180 days of fantastic education, but 200 days of fantastic education. And that's going to be a very good thing. And part of doing that is to close the gaps in our city, but also prevent children from losing instruction over long holiday periods. And part of them being able to maintain the things that they learn in school is that they can and should be good readers from a very early age. What we know is that parents play such a huge role in making sure that their children have expansive vocabularies and are learning to read and hearing sounds and words all the way from the beginning. And so that's why we're very happy today to be able to talk about this new program that will allow every child in Washington, D.C. to receive a book at home up to the age of 5. Now, one thing that we believe is not reinventing wheels, and that's why we're so happy that the Dolly Parton, everybody knows Dolly Parton, right? And not only is she, beautiful and talented, she cares about communities, and she cares about helping people change their lives through education. And so you're going to hear a little bit later about how and why Dolly Parton has been involved in programs like this. You're going to hear from the public libraries about how it works, and then you're going to hear a challenge from us to make sure as many people as possible are taking advantage of this wonderful program. I say frequently that this is a city that is prosperous, and we should all be very proud of it. We have taken the city all the way back, except there's work to do still, because not everybody is back. And that's why I talk about focusing on how we create assured pathways for families and people in Washington, D.C. to be able to live here and raise their families here and enjoy a high quality of life. and making sure we're focused on education is how we get there. So you're going to hear us continue to talk about that, but there are traditional things that we talk about in the classroom, and that there are all the other things that support what our teachers do, and Books from Birth is one of them. So please join me in congratulating and thanking and welcoming Councilmember Charles Allen.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Mayor. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Newman, for hosting us here. This is a great space. My own daughter, Cora, she's three and a half now, but she was born right next door, but it gave us a lot of comfort to know that this was right here in case we needed it. And I know so many families do, so thank you for hosting this and doing what you do. I'm really thrilled to be able to join you here, and really to thank so many of the phenomenal partners that have been a part of this and that are making this happen. As a legislator, and relatively still a new one, it is not all that often that you get to see a vision all the way through the process, from doing the research on an idea, to introducing a bill, to getting it passed, to getting it funded, and then to seeing it implemented. And I'm really appreciative of all the support I've gotten, especially from my council colleagues and Councilmember Grosso, who chairs our education committee, who oversees libraries. Thank you very much. And to the incredibly hard work of Mayor Bowser and Deputy Mayor Niles and their entire team, thank you guys very much. Let's give them another round of applause. And then, of course, also to Richard Reyes-Gavilan and the entire team from the libraries. Thank you very much. A little over a year ago, I stood outside a library in Southwest DC, and I was surrounded by dozens of educators and healthcare providers, parents, and a lot of kids. And we announced my very first legislative effort. We called it Books from Birth. And the idea was really simple, and you've heard us talk about it. Get books into the hands of every child in our city from age 0 to 5, but then not just link that book, but link that book to our libraries and to early childhood and to family literacy efforts. That's what will make this successful. And there's two things that I learned that day. First is that very small children do not like to stand in the cold while I talk into a microphone. And second, that the power of a book and reading a book is as true for an infant and a toddler as it is for the parent, the grandparent, the aunt, the uncle, the brother, the sister that picks that book up and reads it to them. I believe very strongly in the power of words, and I believe in the power of books. And I believe that putting the power of that book into the hands of our youngest residents will absolutely make a difference in their lives. Here are the facts that we know. Less than half of our third graders are proficient or advanced in reading skills. But I don't need to wait until third grade to find that out. Ask any teacher, and they can see the difference in the classroom at a very early age. And we know that early literacy develops well before that child takes that first step into their elementary school. Studies, and you heard Dr. Newman talk about this, is science-based. We know that children who have access to books, and then just as important, have adults who read it to them, will hear 30 million more words at home by the age of 4 than children who don't. We call that the word gap. And all too often it is a very accurate predictor of the educational achievement for that student's career. Later in school, we change what we call it, and we call it the achievement gap. And after school, we know all too well that gap predicts outcomes in jobs, income, health, public safety, and much, much more. I believe deeply that we cannot wait until this word gap turns into an achievement gap before we start tackling the problem. We will always work to close the gaps once they show up. But I want to see our city being a leader and continue to expand the ways that we do already lead, to stop these gaps from ever happening in the first place. And that's where this idea comes from. And you hear the mayor talk about how we are trying to target every family in the district. You know, my daughter and I, we have a routine. Our family gets together. We read books when it's time for her to go to bed, and we spend about 15, 20 minutes, and we go through all of her favorite books, sometimes the same book over and over and over again. And as she looks around her bedroom, she's got about 100 books on the shelf. But I know that is not the reality for every child in our city. And I know that for some kids, there's not 100 books. There may not be 10 books. There may not be one book. And that's why this is so important to be able to create that help. Because I believe books are the direct building blocks of learning. But children have to be exposed to them to be able to use them. And we know this type of effort works. Families who participate in similar programs, they're more likely to read with children. They're more likely to go to the library. We also know that children who receive books and programs like this, they do better in school. They score higher not just in reading readiness, but they also score higher in math and in science and everything that we want to see them succeeding in. And finally, low literacy, it runs in a family. If a grandparent or a parent can't read, the library itself is a pretty intimidating space. That's why it's so important to have this initiative go to the child's home, not just have the child come to them. But there is no better partner in this than the DC Public Library. The Books from Birth initiative, directly linking that with our phenomenal Sing, Talk, and Read effort, is going to make a difference for our city, and I'm really, really proud of that. You heard Dr. Newman talk about it. One last piece I wanted to mention, and that is we do everything we can to make sure every child is enrolled in our pre-K-3 program. But between 0 and 3, outside of the family, the only place I can guarantee you that child is going to interact with somebody is with our healthcare providers and our pediatricians. And they have been phenomenal partners in this, especially with our association, with pediatricians across our city. They're going to be another big key to this success, and so I appreciate all the work that you've done on this. So today, I think, is a great day for our city. It's a especially great day for our youngest residents and for their families. So thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone who's been a part of making today happen. And in the very near future, I hope that every child in our city is going to have their very own home library thanks to Books from Birth. So thank you all very, very much. And I think I get to have the honor now of introducing my committee chair on education and somebody who is a great friend and a great supporter in making sure this actually happened and turning it into reality, Councilmember David Grosso.
Thanks a lot, Charles. I'm really excited to be here to just throw my support behind this, but also think back about a year ago when we were first discussing this and how excited I was because it lined up so perfectly with the priorities that we had in the committee, and it was exciting to have somebody with the experience that Charles has to step in and be assigned to the committee and then actually be able to work with him on a project that is going to make a huge difference when it comes to literacy in the District of Columbia. And each of us and across the city, we know that our literacy rates are not where we want them to be, whether they're children that are behind proficiency early in their years or adults later on. And so how do we bridge that? How do we fix that? Is with programs like Books from Birth. So I'm excited to be a part of it as the chair. I was especially excited when the mayor stepped up and said, this is something that we want to be involved in. So Mayor Bowser, thank you for your support. Deputy Mayor Niles, we met early on, prior, I think, to even the budget debates about this legislation. We had a hearing on it. You came out and said this was something that you thought was good for our city as well. And that just tells you a lot about how often we get together and we come up with ideas. We get behind good ideas like Councilmember Allen's idea here and put forth programs that will make a huge difference for the District of Columbia. So I'm excited to be a part of it and excited to have been the chairman that gets to move this through with you. And then, as the budget process went forward, we had to figure out what to do next. And these things don't just happen on their own. Councilmember Allen's staff was great in this effort and deserves a lot of credit for going out and finding the money in the budget process for this to make it happen. And then I got to meet with Reyes-Gavilan about this, and he said, this is probably something that we should be very involved in. And I said, I think you're absolutely right. And he embraced the program. He thought it was innovative. It fit right in with what he was trying to do. And then he spent the past 9 months figuring it out with Councilmember Allen, with Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Niles, and others. So it's a fitting day and an exciting day in the district. I think it's a victory to move forward in our literacy efforts for the whole city. And I couldn't be more excited than to be here at Children's with Dr. Newman, who is a partner on so many things with me. So thank you for your support and your effort here. And finally, I get to introduce Rich Reyes-Gavilan. If you haven't gotten to know him yet, I expect that you all will over the next couple years. We are doing an amazing project downtown D.C. with our central library that he's taking the lead on. This is about reinventing the way we think about libraries, not just building a central library. And he will tell you all about it, I'm sure, at the performance hearing in a couple weeks. But I'm excited that he is in the District of Columbia and committed to the work that he's doing to make our libraries state-of-the-art and really an example for the rest of the country. So, Rich Reyes-Gavilan, please.
I will be sure to provide the most awesomest testimony when I testify before the council soon. Before we get started, I just want to point to my right, and you see all the books on that table. That number of books represents the number of books that a child who participates in this program for his or her first 5 years will have as his or her home library. And I think that's just a beautiful thing, to have every child have that in his or her home as their very own. So quickly, just a minute or two of remarks. I'd like to thank again by recognizing Faith Gibson Hubbard, a member of the DC Public Library Board of Trustees, and send regrets on behalf of our board chair, Gregory McCarthy. The board is passionate about improving children's outcomes in the district. And they are so supportive of this initiative and so supportive of the work of the library. And it's great to have you here, Faith, and thanks on behalf of the board. Also, I want to recognize Marquette Smith, who is of the DC Public Library Foundation, which has supported so many of the library's early literacy initiatives, and I assume that will continue. Thank you, Mayor Bowser and Deputy Mayor Niles, council members, and especially Councilmember Allen, for bringing this initiative to me and to us and entrusting us with this important initiative. Preparing children for school is something that the DC Public Library strives to do very well, whether it's a Sing, Talk, and Read program at a local church, or a summer reading event at a local neighborhood block party, or one of the thousands of storytime programs that are conducted in our beautiful buildings every single year, turning kids into readers, and more importantly, turning caregivers and parents into enablers of reading and supporters of literacy is one of our most important goals. We think books from birth will help us achieve that goal. When you give a child a book, do you know what that child is going to want? You're all wrong. They want lots and lots and lots of books after they've got one book. And that's where really the library will find its sweet spot. Through Books from Birth, we will be able to expand our work with parents and caregivers, really impressing upon them how crucial it is that they pick up those books and read them to their kids. Or even better, just point at the pictures and describe what's happening. So it all starts, look at it, it's happening. Pathways to learning. So it all starts here and it all starts today. Please visit dclibrary.org/freebooks to get started. And it's just wonderful being here. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your morning.
And thank you, Rich, and thank you. If you haven't been to a DC Public Library lately, you need to go. We have a fantastic library system here. Beautiful buildings, great staff, great collections, convenient hours. What did I miss? Everything is at the DC Public Libraries. And great children's libraries and activities all day. So please check out our libraries. I also want to recognize several of our partners. I've talked about the wonderful Children's National Medical Center, the Unity Healthcare, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and Educare, who will be partners with us in this great program. Give them a round of applause. But let me single one out, and I mentioned her earlier, Dolly Parton herself and her Imagination Library. The Imagination Library has mailed more than 60 million books to children. And the District of Columbia now joins 1,600 communities that have built home libraries for 250,000 children. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce Jeff Conyers, who is the Executive Director of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Well, thank you all so very much. Certainly on behalf of Dolly and our team, I want to express all of our thanks to everyone here today for making this partnership come to fruition. Dr. Newman, thank you for having us at the lovely Children's National today. Mayor, everyone has spoken quite eloquently so far, and so I'm gonna just take a few seconds here and have a little bit of fun. I heard that you might be a Dolly Parton fan, so I asked her if she would mind signing a copy of her. So as a leader of DC, to inspire people to dream more, I asked her to sign a copy for you.
Awesome.
So my pleasure. Thank you for
goes in my library.
Thank you for all your support. Councilmember Allen, when we first entertained this idea about the Imagination Library in DC, I remember at one point you saying that you had hoped that we would be able to pull this off in time for your daughter to receive her first Imagination Library book before she gets too old. And she hasn't yet, I know, because I asked you. So I have it right here. And this is a very special. So every child in the Imagination Library, the very first book that they receive is The Little Engine That Could, regardless of age. But this is a particularly special copy because I had my boss sign it. So this is from Miss Dolly.
Thank you.
This is your very first book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This wouldn't have bbeen possible without Councilmember Allen. We sure appreciate it. Councilmember Grosso, we certainly appreciate you as well. Rich, the DC Public Library team has been fantastic to work with. I know they will be. There's lots of people that won't be recognized today that have put a lot of work into this, and your team has certainly been part of it. We appreciate all of them as well. So again, on behalf of Dolly and all of our team, our humble thanks. We're looking forward to the partnership in DC and being a part of the Sing, Talk, and Read program. But nobody says this better than Miss Dolly herself, and we recorded a special message for today. And so I'll let her tell you in her own words.
Hi everybody, it's Dolly. Welcome to the Imagination Library family. I am so happy to be working with y'all to take what we started in Tennessee and bring it all the way to the nation's capital. I look forward to a strong partnership with the DC Public Library, and I would like to thank DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, the DC Council, and especially Councilmember Charles Allen. Libraries play such an important role in the lives of children, so it is an honor for us to join hands with the DC Public Library. Together, we inspire all of our children to dream more, learn more, care more, and be more. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Well, there's really nothing else to say. We've heard from Miss Dolly, and Charles said to us when we were thinking about this, we should get Dolly to come. And I said, Charles, I think that's a great idea. And I think maybe if it wasn't for this winter weather we're having, we might have seen her. So thank you very much, Jeff. Thanks to all of the partners. We have a great partner in DCPL who will execute this perfectly. And we're going to have some really happy families and children who are singing, talking, and reading together. Thank you all very much. I think we're going to read some. We're going to read some as well. So I think we're going to move that way.
Yeah, so all you kids who've been waiting patiently, the mayor and Councilmember Allen are going to read a book.
Councilmember Allen.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
So we'll just...
Okay. Are there two? Okay. Hi, boys and girls. We're going to read Leo Loves Baby Time. Leo loves Wednesdays. He eats his breakfast. He puts on his jacket. He sits in the stroller. Then off he goes to baby time. Everyone says hello.
Especially this guy.
First, they sing the happy song. Yes. Then they play peekaboo with scarves. Peekaboo. They sing the stretchy song and the roly song.
Next, they're going to play with their animals. And that is Leo's favorite. They wiggle their fingers and they clap their hands. You can do it. There you go. They wave their arms and they kick their legs. They ride the bus and their horses. Then they zoom to the moon. Last, there's time for a cuddle, a story, and making new friends. The end. Thanks, guys.